For our Anzac Corps, the fight was fought through the Gallipoli campaign. The main objective of the campaign was to capture Constantinople, the heart of the Ottoman Empire, and open a supply route up to Russia.
The campaign began with a British naval push to break through the straits. However, this push was repelled. Then on April 25th, after a premature naval attack, the Anzac troops, accompanied by the British, landed in Gallipoli, only to be met with large cliff faces and a spray of bullets from the Turkish.
Over the following weeks, this being early in the campaign, the Anzac Corps established a series of trenches to match those the Turkish had set up. These trenches were often riddled with disease and was one of the main spots of actions throughout the war. Eventually, however, the Anzac Corps launched 2 attacks on the Turkish.
The first attack, the Battle of Lone Pine, was partially successful, as while the Anzacs were able to capture the immensely protected trenches, the following 4 days were a rough series of hand-to-hand combat, resulting in 2,000 Anzac casualties. The second attack, the Charge of the Neck, was an ill-coordinated attack.
As part of the August offensive, the 3rd Light Horse Brigade was to charge the Neck, a narrow piece of land, and to divert the Turkish attention to the consecutive raids occurring across their territory. The charge was meant to begin after several Navy shells had been fired, as a means to distract the Turkish away from their positions to take cover.
However, due to poor coordination, the change by the 3rd Light Horse Brigade was held off until the agreed time. Several minutes later, the shells had been fired. This error resulted in adamant time for the Turkish to reach their positions once more and prepare for the onslaught that would unfold.
Out of all the campaigns conducted by the Anzacs while on Turkish ground, the most successful was the evacuation of Gallipoli. The evacuation took place in 3 stages. The first stage saw the withdrawal of both troops and equipment. The second stage saw the retreat of roughly 15,000 troops, and the final stage, conducted over 2 nights, saw the retreat of the remaining 26,000 troops.
From the entire campaign, there was 26,111 casualties from the campaign, with 8,141 deaths. The Anzac legend, a story of sorrow and grief, is a legend that is treasured in the hearts of many Australians for the value it promotes and the inspiring sacrifices these men made for the safety of their country.
Of all the things that emerged from the Cursed War, the most significant to many Australians was the dawn of the Anzac spirit. The Anzac spirit was made up of 2 parts, the values and the stereotype. The Anzac spirit holds the values of courage, endurance, initiative, discipline, and above all the quality of nature. The Anzac spirit also embodies a stereotype of men being humorous, willing to make necessary decisions to save human life, and prove to be an equal upon the battlefield.
We all know that Australian soldiers joined the war to help the British. But that isn't the only reason. They also joined the war due to the propaganda about the war. The propaganda was presented as a poster, and it claimed that the war is an adventurous journey where you go to different countries with your mates and have a good time. Since they didn't know what the war was, they fell for it and joined the campaign for Gallipoli, believing it is a fun adventure which you enjoy with your mates. In the present, our perspective of Gallipoli is important in Australia. Gallipoli is an important battle as we remember the soldiers who fought and died for our country. Even if they are alive to join, we will remember them as soldiers who contain courage and mateship. We will remember them as soldiers who contain the Anzac spirit. We will remember Gallipoli as a sacred ground to the soldiers and a historic site to us Australians. Gallipoli will become a legend to all Australians.